Yeah. Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Main Event Mixer here at the Main Event Wrestling Network. We got the OG crew in the house today. We got AEW Dynasty tonight, and we've had plenty of great wrestling happening over the past couple weeks as we are on the road to WrestleMania. But let's introduce this cast of characters. You've seen these faces before. I, of course, am the host, Mr. OTM from the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. And to my right, I got one half of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. It's the podcast dad. Sir, how we doing?
I'm good. A couple sick kids in the house, but I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Oof. You're not going to get sick then, are you? Probably. Yeah.
But at least they waited like 2 weeks before Mania, so we're good.
This is true. Get it out of the way now, and then you can enjoy WrestleMania. I like it. The Great Brown Hope's in the house. We out ya. Yes, sir. Main Event blogger himself with a brand new blog out now, so go ahead and check that out. But below the podcast dad is his son and my co-host at OTM, Ian Garavalia. Ian, what's up, dog?
What's up, dog? I might at some point switch into something a little bit more comfortable. I know we're all big fans of our baseball teams. Everybody's doing really well. The Reds obviously kicking it off to a nice hot start. Cardinals too. I mean, doing a great job. Phillies. I was getting to you. Phillies have been good. Phillies have been good. Good job, Dad. But yeah, no, I'll switch to that in a bit. But I'm excited for tonight.
We're gonna lose viewers.
Mr. Cincinnati, I thought I was talking to your co-host for a second when he always brings up the Eagles. Of course, Ian's going to bring up the Cubs. But sir, it's great to see you. How we doing?
It's good. It's another rainy, gross-ass day in Cincinnati, but got some tincture. I got my French press. I'm ready to fuck you. Why?
Somebody said Eagles.
I teed him up.
Somebody said Eagles.
It's baseball season. Just stick with the Phillies now.
You are the champion, though. Like, I would be bragging about that every day. Let's be real.
Don't fucking encourage him. No.
I'm sorry. It's true. What is that? A new merch you got? How much money did you spend?
This is the Jalen Hurts jersey, the Super Bowl MVP. You know, something you guys don't know about. Everybody here.
Hey, we're all MVPs in our own right, I think, and also Great Brown Hope. Go Dodgers!
Oh God. Okay. All right.
So we have
rubber game tonight this
boy.
afternoon. So
we have a very diverse network here. Reds, Cardinals, Phillies, Cubs, and Dodgers all over the place. But that's what it's all about here at the Main Event Wrestling Network. We are worldwide. So, guys, if you're not following us on all the socials, make sure you do so at mainevent_net. And, of course, if you want to get yourself some Main Event merch, head on over to the OnTheMarkWrestlingPodcast.com. We got a promo code going on this weekend, so you'll save some money on that Main Event merch by using promo code Dynasty, because, of course, Dynasty is happening tonight. That's why we decided to sit down, strap it in, and talk some wrestling today. But, guys, we are currently sitting at 65 subscribers. We are slowly making our way to 100. So, what is that magic number, podcast dad? I'm going to steal Mr. Cincinnati's line here, but what is that magic number?
Glad I got that burp out of the way before you asked me. Just tell one person, if you like what we're doing here, come hang out with us. Yes, we talk a little baseball. Yeah, we talk a little football. We get on each other a little bit. But the bulk of this is wrestling. If you like wrestling, come hang out with us. We don't do tribalism. We don't do any, fake shit. Come hang out with us. Have some fun. Jump in the comments. We love interacting.
Absolutely. Interaction is what we are all about here at the network. And Mr. Cincinnati, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about our friends over at Gorilla Press Apparel doing some great things right now. And you guys got some new merch, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Will and the crew, Gorilla Press Apparel. The WrestleSip shirt is available. Just dropped this weekend. Thank you to him for getting that out for us. They're crazy fucking awesome. I mean, as you can tell, they like a little bit of the old school with the new school style. Yeah, you don't want to miss out. One of the hardest working guys in independent wrestling merch right now. If you're a wrestler, referee, manager, promoter, what have you, if you need some merch for those tables, DM over at Gorilla Press APP on X. They'll take great fucking care of you.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. So shout out to Gorilla Press Apparel, the proud sponsor of every single main event mixer. And speaking of main event mixers, I don't know if you guys saw on our socials, we got a lot coming your way WrestleMania week. Boys, we are only 2 weeks away from the grandest show of them all, and we have not one, not two, but 3 main event mixers coming your way WrestleMania weekend, starting on Friday for Stand and Deliver. Then night 1, we will be on Saturday, live before night 1, and of course, recapping night 1 on Sunday and previewing night 2. So make sure you're following us at mainevent_net. But guys, we had a lot going on this past week in the WWE. So before we get into Dynasty, I say we talk about Friday Night Smackdown. If you didn't know, Mr. OTM was there in attendance. I thought it was a great show from top to bottom. But we need to talk about this because I was very excited for it when they announced that Rey Fenix's WWE debut was happening in Chicago. And I didn't expect to see the opponent that he had show up there, but Nathan Frazier, one half of Fraxium, the NXT Tag Team Champions, faced off against Rey Fenix in his WWE debut. So Podcast Dad, let me go to you first. How was that overall presentation? Because I didn't get to see it on TV, but it felt like a big deal when Rey Fenix came out.
Yeah, it felt like a big deal. It was a big deal, I think. And it was a good debut. I think there was one botch that people were talking about with Nathan Frazier and the suicide dive, but it happens. Get over it. Shut up. Don't care. It was a good debut. Is this the same level as Penta? Probably not. I would say I like that they're keeping them separate. And I said in the beginning when it looked like both of these two were coming over, I think Rey Fenix is the better wrestler in the ring, has better in-ring performances and all that. But Penta has the charisma, I think, to connect more with the crowd. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of handle Rey Fenix, how well he can do on his own. I don't know about that, Grant Brown Hope. That's a little much. But
Humberto Carrillo greater than Rey Fenix, questionable.
Okay, that's
department maybe.
But it'll be interesting to see how they handle him because he just – I don't know how well he's going to come off like on the mic. I don't think he's going to come off as well as Penta does. And it'll be interesting to see how long they keep him separate, right? Because
for sure,
Penta looks like he's leaning towards a singles title match at Mania. Rey Fenix could be in the same boat with whatever they're doing with the U.S. title. I could see them both on the Mania card for mid-card titles, and then do we get together after that? I don't know. I'll be interested to see, but it adds more depth to WWE. Pour one out for Dragon Lee because don't know what he's going to – you got 2 new match superstars. Don't know what's going to happen with you, buddy. But I don't know, maybe they form an alliance together. That would be fun. Like get him out of the LWO or something. But overall, pretty happy with the presentation. Great entrance as WWE is just producing the hell out of these entrances now.
Yeah, I don't want to know their pyro budget. It's got to be a lot of money, Ian. But Ian, how did you feel about this debut here for Rey Fenix? Because I know you were a big fan of his when he was working in AEW.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of felt like the Penta debut just kind of copied and pasted. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because, I mean, if it's working the first time, it's probably going to work the second time. The match was incredible. Rey Fenix got everything that he needed to get in. He got it in, which was awesome. I did see a tweet that said, shout out to the WWE 2K developers. Somebody just got really mad when they saw the that intro because it was a lot. But, I'm kind of interested to see how they – because, like you said, it's on the table for a reunion with the Lucha Bros, but how they get there, I don't know, because I wonder at some point if – more fans in the crowd know that the Lucha Bros were a thing, or they just see them more as singles. So I want to kind of see how that dynamic plays out. I did find it really funny, though, as you said, with Rey Fenix on the mic, is he lacks a little bit, especially compared to Penta. But Rey Fenix is WWE, as he stated in his promo.
Right.
He said, I am WWE. So
He is.
Put a title around him now. All the titles.
Well, technically, he has all the titles. He owns them. So if he is
yeah.
WWE, congrats to Ray Phoenix for holding all the gold. He's turning into the belt collector like Mercedes Moné. But Mr. Cincinnati, I think it's interesting because we never got to see Penta work as a singles wrestler in AEW, nor Ray Phoenix. I mean, they had singles matches, but it seems like that's how he's going to be positioned to start. So how did you feel about his debut here?
I enjoyed it because I did put this in the group chat before he even debuted that my thoughts were keep these guys separate and apart, much like Kane and Undertaker. They're brothers. There's always a story to tell, no matter what. You don't have to force that chemistry or that connection. We know that they can go as the Lucha Brothers. But given how we've seen LDF, LWO, Andrade, how we've seen them kind of positioned, we need standalone single stars away from all of these groups. It would have been too easy if you brought these guys in together, or at least paired Phoenix up with Penta to put them as a tag team going forward. It would have been too easy for them to get looped into that carousel of LWO, LDF, Andrade, repeat. Like, this is exactly what we need right now. Much like you guys have said, Penta is the charisma. He is the aura. Ray Phoenix, I mean, come on. They were part of the greatest cage match that AEW has ever seen. And I said, after watching that match, Nick Jackson, Ray Phoenix, probably two of the most underrated guys in wrestling for what they can do just from an in-ring standpoint here. I am not worried about the promo skills just yet because, again, he's going to the biggest wrestling company in the world. They have he can go to Orlando, hang out, sit in a promo class, and learn all of that. We've seen that with Julia. We've seen that with Asuka. We've seen that with Stephanie Vicaire. There's no reason that Ray Phoenix can't do the same thing. But, yeah, again, keeping these guys apart, let them dominate on their respective brands. The time will come. They will get a tag team title run. It doesn't need to be today. There's a lot more that needs to be sorted out with both tag team titles right now. They would just be overlooked. So let them dominate as single stars. When the time is right, they'll put them back together.
Also, another thing, just to add on to that, I like what they did with Penta, having Judgment Day kind of go after him, kind of like scouting him out. Immediately kind of sets a stage that Penta's not just another Andrade coming through and probably joining LWO. That was my biggest takeaway from what's been happening on Raw is Penta. He's not a part of that whole, like you said, that carousel. So
He's a hot commodity.
Yeah, exactly.
People want to align themselves with Penta. And shout out to the Great Brown Hope. He said, cracking open a second can of this re-released Cranberita. Cheers, motherfuckers. Yeah, cheers to you, my friend. I love the Great Brown Hope. Oh, look at Fernando stopping by. I know he's a daily listener at the Wrestling Junkies podcast. So shout out to Fernando. Yeah, good to see you hanging out with us. And he agrees. He said, keep them apart from now. Mr. Cincinnati, it's funny you bring up that cage match that they had with the Young Bucks. That also was in Chicago. People forget. So it was kind of cool, and I kind of felt that vibe in the audience that people knew about Ray Phoenix. And let's be real, Chicago is one of the smarter wrestling cities here in the States, so that's probably a good spot to debut him in. I don't think I would have debuted him in, like, Little Rock, Arkansas, or something like that, It just wouldn't have the same... Strategic. Yeah, exactly.
And he acknowledged it too. Ray Phoenix did say, "I have a lot of history in Chicago," which
he did.
Yeah, during I think it was the last promo before he said, "I am WWE."
Yeah, I couldn't hear much. The volume in the arena was not great, so it doesn't really matter though. Keep Penta and Phoenix away from AKL lame factions, please. What does AKL mean?
I think he means all lame factions.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Now I'm not too sure nowadays because kids have slang, and I don't know their slang. Us Latinos roll deep in Chicago. That they do, Fernando. All right, guys, let's move on to other things that were happening on SmackDown. Motor City Machine Guns defeated DIY. Looks like they're in position to be taking on the Street Profits. I would assume at WrestleMania, but who knows, because they do have to have some matches on the SmackDown before Mania. But Ian, this is interesting. It's kind of like a rotating team, going on here. I feel like, they just keep going between DIY, Motor City, number one contenders. To me, it's not too exciting. The match was okay, but how do you feel about all of this?
You just said everything I was going to say. I really don't care, and which is sad because Motor City Machine Guns we know how good they are, and it just seems like it's a side gig. It's just like, yeah, go play with those titles over there. We'll give you a match, and then you guys sell it on there. I don't know if that's representative of the platform they're given or the talent. I mean, it has not clicked for me, at least. It just feels like old school what we've seen with booking. I mean, back in the COVID era, there's no heat to it. But again, that's probably too harsh, but we've been cycling this for the first half of the year, and there's nothing to come out of it.
And as someone that was there was every entrance from those tag teams, the Street Profits, DIY, and Motor City Machine Guns, the crowd was just meh. They didn't really care that much. And maybe, Mr. Cincinnati, you're going to disagree with me. Maybe you're enjoying this. So I'm curious. How do you feel about Motor City Machine Guns becoming the new number one contenders?
It's a mixed bag for sure, because I had been excited the last few months of seeing the emphasis on the tag team division, seeing Pretty Deadly, seeing Los Garza, seeing DIY, Machine Guns, Street Profits, everybody wanting to go after these titles. Something that we really have not seen as far as the main roster. I don't know what it is. Shawn Michaels has been booking the fuck out of NXT's tag team division and doing it very well for a very long time. I mean, the way that he has been able to tease the real, tease tension between Fraxium, and they still find a way to win and overcome it, giving that drama and that intrigue. He just gets it when it comes to the tag team division. We're not seeing so much of that on the main roster, because on SmackDown, we're kind of, for the last month and a half, 2 months, we've been seeing all of these teams want to go after the tag team titles. Raw, it's been fucking crickets. Like, the New Day probably should have the tag team titles by now, but they're finally now starting to get to that point where that seems like it's going to be the program for everybody there. But what sucks here is I'm happy that Machine Guns won, because tag team titles should be defended at WrestleMania. Machine Guns, why not get them a WrestleMania moment? They've been in the business 25 years at this point each and have never competed the biggest show of the year. Street Profits need something that they can sink their teeth into and have for a while. There will be a great WrestleMania match, and Machine Guns will make sure that they give the Profits a great match. But there's still a lot to discuss about kind of how we're booking this tag team division and what we're seeing here. So, like I said, fine with the match. But I do think that it's time to have a little bit more definitive storytelling with this. As far as, like, we know that Machine Guns, we know the Profits, WrestleMania, whoever comes out of that, we need to set up their next contenders right away. We can't wait to do that. It's also disappointing, because I really did want to see Pretty Deadly get a WrestleMania moment and walk out with the title.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen.
Might.
Hey, you're right, Podcast Ed. Still might. There is a chance that they could work their way back into it. They have been heavily featured on TV, and Fernando says HBK is a former member of the Rockers, so he knows tag team wrestling, that's for sure. Podcast Ed, how do you feel about this whole tag team situation over on SmackDown?
I like it, because look at the alternative on Raw. At least we're getting tag team wrestling on SmackDown. Like, at least they're trying. Is it working? Maybe not, but they're at least giving them time. Like, when was the last time we saw the Viking, or whatever the hell they're called now? Like, what?
They were there this Monday, but
yeah.
That's how much I care about that division, right? Like, it's nothing. Like, at least they're trying over here. We have some pretty solid teams. I think if they give them time, they can wrestle. Like, go back and watch the Rumble match. It was pretty good. It just sucked placement wise where it was, because tag team wrestling in WWE hasn't been important ever. So it's going to take a minute to build that division again. We have some solid teams. I'm willing to give them a chance, because, again, the alternative on Raw is just nothing. So at least I have something on SmackDown.
Yeah, the last time tag division was good was New Day versus Usos, when they were going back and forth for years. That's the last time I felt anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss
that was like, what, 8 months?
Yeah. I miss just the Usos tagging. I mean, I'm enjoying the Jey Uso stuff. Trust me. Don't get me wrong. It's working.
Throwing hate at Jey Uso?
Make eye contact.
No.
You hate the singles push that Jey Uso's going through? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't hate it. I just prefer... Okay, I'm going to say this for the podcast, Dad, so he can be happy. I just prefer Jey Uso as a tag team wrestler.
Same.
I know you've been preaching it. But, yeah. He'll get his moment. It'll be fine.
I had a theory on that.
Let's hear it.
With Jey Uso, okay, you're right. So I'm going to describe somebody for you. beloved by the crowd.
Oh boy,
right?
I don't love this.
Got a catchphrase over. Got real hot. Has had a couple shots in the main event. Keeps coming up short. Fans really want it to happen. Got a mid-card title run that was cut short. Way too short. Who did I just describe?
Dolph Ziggler?
LA Knight.
Yeah.
Put him in the spot versus Gunther, and it would have been much better.
Really?
Oh, I would agree with that, yes.
I don't know if I would agree with that.
Maybe a year ago, yes. But
Yeah.
in today's landscape, no.
Coming off of losing to
It's all
Shinsuke
about
Nakamura. Yeah.
Okay.
I see. Even the LA Knight stuff ain't doing it for me anymore. Like that's already gotten old.
If they would have capitalized on it, they would have.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I think they missed the boat. He could have been Money in the Bank last year.
I think that match of
Rumble this
Mania
year.
with him and Solo is going to be amazing, though.
Yeah. Well, no, they're not doing him and Solo. Him and Jacob, you mean?
Jacob, yeah, Jacob.
Well,
Which we
maybe
are
Solo
gonna-
gets in there. We
Oh,
also
true.
have to talk about Solo, but we'll wait closer.
Yeah, no, I think we definitely are going to be talking about Solo. Also, I don't know what happened to Mr. Cincinnati. Hopefully, he didn't get taken over by the Wyatt Six.
No, I made
Okay.
him mad. I made him mad. He went to go hide.
I thought Uncle Howdy was at your place,
You've
brother.
said way worse to me this week, okay? And that's that shit. That's not no.
Well, this week just started, so
Okay, last week.
technically.
Within the last week. Just a champ.
I don't know. This is my end of the week, Dave.
This is
I
my
think
end.
Sunday's
Sunday
the
is.
end.
I mean, it's been
I know.
a very long time. Technically,
Mentally, though, it's the end for me.
mentally, I don't
yeah.
know where I am.
This is true.
This is getting dark.
All right. Solo is not that dude, Fernando
No, he
says.
is not. No.
They treated him like he was, and now he's not.
Hey, he's getting good heel heat, so it obviously worked.
That is true.
He trusts me. I was there. He was getting very good boos from that crowd.
Wasn't in the
but-
Rumble. Wasn't on Chamber. You're right. They're capitalizing on it.
Yeah, for sure. Not really. Let's talk about this, guys. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Once again, I didn't hear a word because Charlotte was absolutely booed out the building like a good heel should be booed. You don't see that much anymore. I just want to throw that out there. But Mr. Cincinnati, I think I'm going to go to you first on this one because there's a lot to digest here. I'm just going to give you an open floor. Tell me your thoughts on this promo segment.
Let me preface this by saying there were exactly two things that I've been following very, very closely this weekend on TikTok. One was the group chat sketch. I don't know if you guys have seen those on TikTok yet, but it's a 4-part series so far. It's basically inside the world of a 4-friend group chat with a bunch of girls. They're like, "Hey, we're going out to dinner," and there's all this drama and shit. And it's just, I'll send you some links. Anyway,
Fair enough.
that everybody's talking about that, and then everybody's talking about this promo. I've watched this back 5 or 6 times, I think, since Friday. It does not get any easier. If anything, it gets cringier each time that you watch it. For whatever reason, the expectation versus reality for this program have been polar opposites. I don't even know where the fuck to begin with this. I think that the crowd played a major part in it. I will say that. I'm not going to go so far as to say that the crowd hijacked this segment or anything like that, but it was a very vocal crowd that did make it a little like Charlotte, who is a veteran of this, seemed flustered. That's rare. And it was on full display here. Tiffany also, you could tell she was trying to get some of her edge back after the face-to-face from a couple of weeks ago. This just came off as desperate by everybody involved. Charlotte, like I think it was Ibu of WrestlePierce, and say what you want about him, but I thought this comparison was interesting. Charlotte was reading the crowd and trying to gauge the sense of, hey, we need to end this earlier than the time that we've been given here. It's just not working. She tried to. Tiffany just wanted to keep going and wanted to keep getting her shit in, which is fine. I mean, when different experience levels. So if I'm in Tiffany's shoes and I'm newer at this, I'm probably going to want to go with, okay, here's what we said we need to get out of this segment. I want to make sure we get to the end of it. Whereas Charlotte's feet, much like her father, can read a crowd and be like, okay, this isn't working. We need to, we'll let them figure it out in the back as far as additional filler time. But it just, the comparison was Charlotte tried to end this game and unplug the controller, and Tiffany's still playing with the controller. Like it just came off as desperate. There was no need, I don't think, to go to the to the divorce part. Like, I get it. She was on a media tour on a talk show. Fine. Like it's whatever. That was what led up to the week. But I don't necessarily think that for the sake of this promo that we needed to go there in this point. Because even I put in the group chat, hey, I'm gonna back off Charlotte in the build of this program after seeing kind of what she was also going through while trying to get back from injury. Because I wouldn't, you wouldn't wish that on anybody. I certainly wouldn't.
No.
But I need this fucking match to come and go. Like, I'm fucking done with it. This should have been a lot cooler and a lot more fun, and a dream match, a dream moment. This isn't the time for it. That's hindsight, obviously. But I'm done with this one.
Let me get on my soap opera box, whatever the fuck the saying is. I don't care. I botched that. Whatever.
Soapbox, just a regular soapbox.
Thank you.
No
you.
Opera.
I appreciate
no
that.
Opera needed.
Yeah, no opera. But I could sing if you want me to, guys. Sing along with Mr. OTM. I've been telling everybody this for months. Tiffany is not ready to be a champion on the main roster, and that's okay. Not everybody is ready that soon. They really just pushed her right to the top right away, and I think it was just too much for her to overcome. And I think Fernando is saying it as well. Tiffany is getting exposed by Charlotte Flair because Charlotte Flair is a veteran. Charlotte Flair has done it all in this industry, and she is the bar of that women's division. And she is the heel, the best heel they have in that company. Tiffany is not ready for this match at WrestleMania. That's why Charlotte Flair is going to win. That's all I'm going to say, Podcast Dad. You seem disgusted. Oh, yeah. Take your sip. Take your sip. Go for it. But I agree with Fernando. The Jade and Naomi story has been 10 times better than this story.
Okay. Everybody here, not here, just everywhere, is dumping on Tiffany, right? Tiffany not working. It's not doing it correctly. Cool. This is now what, the fourth or fifth time we've seen this issue with Charlotte? When has this become a Charlotte issue? She's the veteran. Control it then. When Tiffany did the final line, shut up. Why make anything about Kaiser? Shut up. Move on. We have been dumping on Tiffany Stratton, saying she's just getting her lunch eaten. Okay. Hey, Charlotte, help. This is your program too.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen this before with Charlotte. At what point do we go, maybe the issue isn't Charlotte's opponent every time. Maybe it's Charlotte. I have go away heat with Charlotte. I'm done with the Charlotte experience. I don't want any more of it. I'm done. Because every time we get into a big major feud, something like this happens. We saw it with Nia when they had heat. We saw it with Becky when they had heat. We saw it with Bayley when they had heat. We've seen it with Tiffany now.
That's a good point.
I mean, when do we stop crying wolf? Like, I'm sorry, you're going through stuff outside of the ring. Okay, so does everybody else. Get over it. Be a veteran. Help get through this, because as much as as much as it is on Tiffany, takes two to dance.
Agreed.
Fix it, Charlotte. You're the veteran. You've been here the longest. Fix it. Like, that's my issue. Is we're going after Tiffany. We're not going after Charlotte, and I think we should.
I thank you for saying that, because if you weren't going to say it, I was going to say it. The biggest takeaway, I had a couple takeaways from the promo segment. First of all, I saw the story that they're trying to go with. Tiffany's the next Charlotte. They dress the same. They try to talk the same. I love that. That's the guy they should be taking. Yeah. Charlotte. Tiffany was playing it pretty well by the books. Like, she was reading the crowd, going with the crowd. See, this is the crowd that I have. That was perfect. And then Charlotte kept trying to get these cheap digs that Ludwig Kaiser bring up at the end. That was the cherry on top. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Yeah, it reminded me of that's not going to work for me, brother. I got to get the last word in. That's what it reminded me of. And it pissed me off. Like I said, I don't think it's good heel heat at this point. They could have capitalized on good heel heat and actually played a good heel. I like the off-script segments, like Cena versus Cody. That's what that should have been. That whole promo segment should have been just like that. They could have played it very well. Yeah. But the cheap digs, like behind the scenes shit, why do we have to care about that? I don't know. I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to bring it up even harsher.
Yeah, I think the context is. I think the context still matters just because, again, when we're looking at the week as a whole, yes, it was capped off by this segment that did more harm than good. But, we also can't ignore the fact that there was a media tour where all of this stuff is coming up. I mean, she's not booking that television appearance without WWE having some sort of knowledge or involvement in like coordinating that. I feel like, it is, and that's the thing, is because we are in a business where the line is blurred 24/7. Like there's always going to be some of that confusion. I think that the issue is, again, much like Podcast Dad said, yeah, Charlotte is the veteran here. There had to have been a way to drive the car to get to that ending point that you really wanted to, where you can even still include the real life digs at her and finding ways to incorporate those. It just seemed like in this moment, it didn't feel like that was planned. I mean, it's not, how many times have we seen, this year alone, Punk and Rollins talking about each other's respective wives and using social media to their advantage to do that. There was a right and wrong way to do it. It just didn't seem like in this moment that was planned. That's what I think is fucked about it. It just seemed like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the difference between the Seth and Punk feud and this feud is that heat was already established from the day Punk returned. Like, it goes deeper than just wrestling. That was well known. Everybody knew about it. Commentators told everybody about it. That makes sense there. Tiffany and Charlotte, like I said, they had the plan. Obviously, they laid it out saying Charlotte is old, Tiffany's new. It's the new Charlotte coming in. And they had that story laid out. Fernando brought up in the comments, Tiffany brought up Charlotte's divorce first. Yes, I am not defending that. It's also stupid. They could have played it very well by the books, but no, we have to go for the cheap pops from the crowd of, oh shit, we're bringing this up. Why? This didn't need it at all, and now it's just awkward.
Yeah,
because Tiffany's not ready to talk like that. Obviously she wants to keep reading the script, which would have worked very well. Just Charlotte needs to lay back and let the crowd boo her. Kind of like the New Day has done. The New Day has done a great job at just letting the crowd take over and
embrace
just
the hate.
Being quiet. Yeah, and Logan Paul, again, another guy that does it really well. I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way, and again, not defending Tiffany, not defending Charlotte. I just think it's just a mess.
I will say this, just to close out this little segment here. I think Charlotte gets greatness hate. But it is warranted hate. Like, the Podcast Dad's points were fair. He's right. At what point do you start pointing the finger the other way? Because Charlotte Flair has been involved in many feuds that had this similar vibe to it. But at the end of the day, I also think she is bullied by numerous people online. People are ruthless against her, attacking the way she looks, her divorces. It's just a weird situation that I think's all, created this storm that is just not working. And eventually maybe it does work. Maybe they revisit this Tiffany and Charlotte thing down the road when Tiffany's a little bit more developed and do it right. Exactly. Because whatever they're doing here, it ain't working. Because, like, I forgot who said it in the comment section, but Naomi versus Jade, that's a matchup I think we probably are more looking forward to seeing than this one, just based off the build, which was also made official on Smackdown. But Fernando's got a few more comments. He said, can't wait for this match to come and go, similar to how we all feel. And he also said, Charlotte and Mercedes get hate that has nothing to do with wrestling. And he's 100% right. That is another person. Mercedes Moné gets, I think, unwarranted hate just because she's great.
Doesn't help that Charlotte's name is attached to the controversial Ric Flair still. That does not help.
That doesn't help either. I took Podcast Dad off just because he was muted and wasn't on screen. So once I see him come back, we'll bring him back in.
Kids.
But yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what he's dealing with. But a few more things let's hit quickly on from SmackDown because we still got to talk about Dynasty. Jacob Fatu is the last man standing after defeating Braun Strowman in a fantastic match in a feud that I've thoroughly enjoyed, Ian. So we're going to be seeing Jacob Fatu face off against LA Knight at WrestleMania. How'd you feel about this?
I loved it. My only downside, I kind of wish Braun was... They somehow made this into a triple threat. But again, we have a lot of triple threats. But Braun Strowman has excelled anything from the past. He has finally found his niche. And it helps that Jacob Fatu has been that kind of like bloodlust opponent. this match was incredible, and I was not expecting this at all. It helped that the crowd helped. Chicago is a really good environment for these kind of hardcore matches. I mean, we got legit blood from Braun Strowman. The guy was bleeding out of his arm after that suplex.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it was
nice.
I didn't see the cut, but I just saw the blood. But no, this match was fantastic, and it was very simple, straight to the point. And yeah, as Fernando says, Fatu is your new U.S. champ. You got to capitalize.
See, I would differ because I think there's a chance that Solo could cost Jacob Fatu.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go. There he is.
I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen it before. It's. I could see them wanting to try to. Okay, let's try the Solo experiment again. At least let's get a program for Jacob Fatu out of this to further drive that tension between the new bloodline, which we know is going to happen. I mean, we know Jacob Fatu is a star. It's unfortunate the King and Queen of the Ring are not scheduled, at least not at this point yet, because he would have been my pick to win it all. But I could see them wanting to try to stretch that story between the two of them out to SummerSlam. LA Knight.
Yeah.
Okay, you keep the US title on him. Like, okay, that's fine too. But I do like the idea of a plot twist here because we've seen it with Solo before. Several
Ian,
times.
was that you moving? Sorry, Mr. Cincinnati, but Ian just threw me off by moving things around, and my ADHD kicked in. I apologize, but Podcast Dad, it's good to see you back. Hope you're doing okay. How do you feel about Jacob Fatu?
Doing fine. Solo's winning the title at Mania. That's my prediction.
Really?
He's winning the U.S. title at Mania. Yeah.
He's getting into that match.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu and Solo will have a match at SummerSlam for that title, and that'll be the big Jacob Fatu face turn. That's what I think is going to happen. What happens with LA Knight? I don't know. We'll see. But
that's
push
tough,
him to the. Push him to the.
Does
main
more
event.
Slim Jim commercials.
Push him over to Raw. Put him in the main event. What are we doing?
Raw. Yeah. I think a change of scenery would definitely be good for LA Knight. And that match exceeded my expectations too, Ian. I really enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun there. We did, though, figure out what that favor is going to be for CM Punk. I was hoping we wouldn't really find out until WrestleMania or maybe even after WrestleMania, but no, they set this one up. The opening segment had CM Punk, and he wanted to get this favor situation figured out with Paul Heyman, and the Tribal Chief showed up at the end. Seth Rollins was involved, and we come to find out that the favor was indeed that Paul Heyman will be in the corner for CM Punk at WrestleMania. So, Podcast Dad, let me go to you first. How do you feel about this favor being revealed? Because to me personally, it kind of feels like a safe favor, in my opinion.
Yeah, a little bit of a meh, right? This just tells me that Seth Rollins is winning at WrestleMania. So, I don't think he's going to be able to pick between Roman and Punk, and I think Seth Rollins is going to end up getting the win here. So, yeah, the favor's fine. It's nothing crazy. I don't know. It just wasn't. I expected something bigger. I probably shouldn't have, but it's fine. We'll see what happens.
Ian, what do you think about this favor?
Yeah, I'm kind of about the same. It's like, okay, cool. I hope it has more implications than just that. Obviously, the feud is going to go on. I'm kind of agreeing with Seth Rollins winning because Roman versus CM Punk is bound to happen, just Solo v
100%.
Solo. So that'll be fun. But again, yeah, our wrestling brains were like, oh, this favor's got to mean something else. But also, I mean, Punk has been kind of hinting at this favor being gigantic. Sure. I mean, it was underwhelming, but like, again, we're marks and we wanted a lot more out of it.
Well, and there was a nice little callback, too. I don't know if you guys saw the clip from, 2013, I believe it was, where Paul Heyman said, that day that you do get that main event, CM Punk, I will be in your corner, Mr. Cincinnati. I think you saw that as well, but how did you feel about this favor?
A little anticlimactic for me. I don't know. I think initial thought after hearing main event's not the favor, you'd think, okay, number one contendership for somebody's title at some point down the line, something you can go back to later. I just have Rollins, I definitely see winning at Mania, but I think that it is because of Paul Heyman that happens. It's we can't decide, but I pointed this out on our show. Paul Heyman has turned on everybody, just about everybody that he has managed in his entire WWE run at some point or another, including CM Punk. There's nothing left to do with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, I don't think. The Bloodline saga is over. It was fantastic. It's a work of art. It's time for Roman to get back to that one-man gang, just wreck everyone and leave, get him back to that kind of grittier presentation. Seth Rollins, we know we can talk, but something about Seth Rollins becoming a Paul Heyman guy for this next heel run seems really, really intriguing to me, because, I mean, we saw what it did for Roman because nobody saw it coming, and that's why it worked. Same thing could be said for Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins here, I think. And that's low-key what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and I think we've all been sort of critical about Seth Rollins' character as of late, and I think that is something that he could jump right into and excel in, being a Paul Heyman guy. I mean, I don't know how you fail as a Paul Heyman guy unless your name is Curtis Axel. That's the only one that didn't work. Did you guys even remember that was a thing?
I do, yeah. Or
not great.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, Ryback too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Claudio.
Oh my God.
Okay, maybe there's more than one then.
Yeah,
They did it for a
sucks.
while where they just thought they would attach that on somebody
Right.
and they'd have a star. And it's like, well, no, you got to follow up a little bit. But,
Gotta have the
They have to
talent.
have some kind of history and story behind it too.
we don't
That
talk
helps.
about that time anymore.
Yeah,
They can't hurt us
Let's
anymore.
not talk about that. No,
Oh, they can't.
we've emerged past that. We are good. We are in the grand old age of professional wrestling now, brother. We got AEW Dynasty though happening tonight. I believe it starts at 6 Central. Could be wrong there, but looks like they got a lot of matches on the card. So let's get into this card. We're not going to talk about the. Huh?
Where's it hailing from? What's the city it's coming from?
Fuck
I
off.
don't know. What is it coming from?
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
Philadelphia. And you're not going?
Waffle knew what he was doing.
Did you call me a waffle? What'd you say?
No, there was another word. There was another word attached to the front of that. Just
Did you call me a waffle? That might be worse than the first word of it.
okay. No,
That's a great
the first
insult.
word's
I'm gonna start
definitely-
calling
no,
people
whatever.
waffles. Shut up, waffle.
He goes, oh, that actually would be a good. That's a shirt. Sell it on the Junkies site. Shut up, Waffle.
I like that.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's
We're
sold.
creating magic. Look at that. It's like when Ian said pop and large, it became a thing.
Popping large.
We pop and large over here, brother.
Starts at 8 Eastern, by the way.
8 Eastern, 7 Central.
It'll be late
I'll
night.
be in bed.
Can number 3, fun show so far while I do
from
some
home
cleaning.
alone.
Look at Great Brown. Oh, look at you. Getting a work from home day. I like it.
Oh yeah, I will be waking up at 10.
There you go.
Starting work at 8, of course.
That's. I hope your
I'm watching
employer's
it,
not
too.
watching. Yeah. Like that. Probably not the smartest thing to say, but hey,
We're live.
Let's
We
talk.
can't edit this out.
I won't. There hasn't been a time where I've edited anything. Just gets posted. Let's talk about this matchup here. It's going to be a quarterfinal match for the Owen Hart tournament. Will Ospreay taking on the newest signing of AEW and Kevin Knight. Ian, we've seen Kevin Knight wrestle. Actually, I've seen him wrestle 5 minutes down the road in a gym where he tripped on my chair, and I thought he was going to kill me, but he did not kill me. So it's cool to see him here getting a matchup with one of the greatest in AEW, Will Ospreay. Who do you see winning this one?
Well, kind of upset that this was the first prediction we're giving, but I guess I'll shoot from the hip here. This is one of my biggest wild card picks. No, it is my biggest wild card pick. I have Kevin Knight winning this.
Damn you, bold.
What does Tony Khan like to do with these tournaments? This is where his fantasy booking goes crazy. This is where we get those really fun matchups. Kevin Knight's new to AEW. We know how good he could be just from his past. Will Ospreay knows how good he could be from this past. And right now, all we see from Kevin Knight is another good wrestler. Not much of a personality as of yet, but I think he can establish that. Let's kick him into full overdrive. Let him have a little run in this Owen Hart tournament. I mean, does it hurt Will Ospreay to lose this match against Kevin Knight?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
It makes Kevin Knight feel like a bigger threat to anybody in the company.
Well, then you better put a title on Kevin Knight very soon if he beats Will Ospreay. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And if it's the Owen Hart title, that's just a trophy, in my opinion.
I don't know.
So
Just looking at the other people in this tournament, it's like, okay, Will Ospreay's faced him, then has faced him, then has faced him, then. If Kevin Knight loses here, okay, where does he go now? Your newest acquisition that probably got for a lot of money, and it's a pretty big signing. They made it out to be a really big signing. That does nothing for him now. At least get him one upset win, and that gives you some heavy heat for him.
Yeah, I mean, I like a good upset pick every once in a while, but this feels like a 116 matchup in the NCAA tournament for me.
Yeah,
no disrespect to Kevin Knight.
The best comparison I've got for this one, remember when Action Andretti came in and beat Chris Jericho when we still gave two fucks about him?
Holy shit, I forgot
Action
about
Andretti is currently on the pre-show tonight. That's why, like, I think this will be a fun match. It will be a fun match. If you're gonna have Kevin Knight get a win like this over Ospreay, I'm not doing that on pay-per-view. Fuck no. That just seems a bridge too far on this one, especially with the aura that Will Ospreay has. This isn't one of those like he'll hello. This isn't one of those he'll bounce back from this. No. That one can't happen, I don't think. Will Ospreay because Ospreay swerve, I think, for all.
Are you saying no to the Great Brown Hope?
Yeah, no, thank you.
Jinder or Corbin? I don't even think Corbin's wrestling anymore, or if he's just doing indies. I don't.
Old Bishop Dyer. Yeah,
That's exactly what we need. Is more
He's
people
going
in
to New
AEW.
Japan.
You're right.
Yeah, Will Ospreay's my pick. I don't need to talk. Much about it. Sorry.
No. Will Ospreay's the pick because we have to remember what the winner of the tournament gets. Right, a title match at All In.
That's going to be Will's.
That's probably going to be Will Ospreay's.
Yeah,
I would think. So
you have to put Will Ospreay in a main event at All In.
If there wasn't that at the end of the tournament, yeah, I could definitely see Kevin Knight winning. But that's bold. It's bold for sure.
I like a hot take, Ian.
It is good hot take.
Obviously, you guys didn't like it, so I'll go fuck.
I liked it. It's just you're on your own.
I like it either, actually.
You can go fuck yourself, he said.
Go fuck myself.
You sound like Cody. Go fuck yourself! I need the title back on Hangman, Great Brown Hope says. I think I would agree with you on that one, Great Brown Hope. I love Hangman.
I was about to say.
I love Hangman.
With this Owen Hart tournament, I have Hangman winning the entire thing and going after a certain person's title that we will be predicting, so go fuck yourselves, people.
Man, why didn't we do a main event bracket for this? I know we've talked about drafting wrestling. Like, why didn't we do one for the Owen? That would have been Yeah,
I guess we could have done one for that too. I just haven't been paying much attention. But yeah, there is still time. We are down to the championship matchup for the WWE GOAT, so maybe we could pivot to the Owen.
Talk about that voting too.
Oh yeah. So by the way, if you want to vote, the championship match is now live. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels, and I'm sure that's why you're mad because Shawn Michaels defeated the Undertaker. Correct?
Well,
that is wild.
Online, just not in real life. It's fine.
Yeah. Mr. Cincinnati, did you vote for HBK on that one?
Of course I voted for HBK.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Shawn Michaels guys over here.
Whatever.
Hey, you weren't the only one mad. Vogus messaged me and Ian, and he's like, "This poll sucks." It's Undertaker.
How do you have a quarterfinals or a semifinals with Taker and Shawn? Come on. Who was the other ones? Austin.
I don't make the rules. Austin and Cena.
Just blame Twitter. That's what I usually do.
Yeah, that's all you can blame. Blame our followers. We have over 1,000 followers and only 25 people voted. So,
and all those followers, if you do like it, please subscribe.
Yeah. And you could get called a dumbass too, like my friends here on the Mixer.
Yeah, you will be.
Or a waffle.
Great podcasting, guys.
Or a waffle.
Love you guys.
It's not a podcast. It's a live show. All right. Next matchup, let's talk about it because I think we're all going with Ospreay besides Ian. We got the tag team titles on the line as the Hurt Syndicate are facing off against Big Bill and Brian Keith, the Learning Tree. Ian, I think I'm going to go to you first on this one. Who you got and why?
Well, this one is pretty straightforward. It's going to be the Hurt Syndicate winning. I like the direction they're going with the Learning Tree. I do. I see the looks you're giving me, Dad. No. I think they actually have some good heat, and they seem like they're actually finally finding their staple. I mean, outside of Chris Jericho, I should say that. Like, I like what this tag team is doing. Big Bill finally seems like he's catching his stride a little bit, especially on the mic. I'm enjoying it. Not their time, obviously. Hurt Syndicate has much better plans in the future. My question is, after the match, I said it last pay-per-view, and I was not upset that they didn't show up, but where are the Young Bucks? I think the Young Bucks versus the Hurt Syndicate could be special.
It could be. But yeah, I think this is definitely a possibility. Mr. Cincinnati, what do you think about MJF potentially costing the Hurt Syndicate in this match? Could happen.
It could. I don't think that it should.
Fair.
Yes, there is a larger story with Bobby Lashley and MJF here. I'm genuinely excited for that program. It's a size and power matchup that I'm just very, very curious to see and how Max navigates it because he and MVP will be doing the heavy lifting on it. I don't give two shits about the learning tree. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, son, and your dad will agree with me. Just no. Just no. No, this is it's not doing it for me.
I will say this though.
I love what they're doing, but like this is no. I don't want to see them I don't want to see them lose to the fucking learning tree. That's yeah.
I agree.
I never said anything about them winning. I don't
Yeah.
What is this coming up?
I know.
I agree with Ian. Big Bill, I think, is improving. Like, he has a presence on the mic. Brian Keith just seems like a lapdog to him. And that's no disrespect, once again, because I love the bounty hunter.
That's great for that
Brian
character,
Keith.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it makes sense for that tag team. That's kind of where I like it. He is that lapdog. He's kind of like a guard dog. He's sick of Brian Keith. I like that aspect of it.
You know what? You don't like it, Mr. Cincinnati, but I agree with Fernando. I'm going to say MJF costs the Hurt Syndicate the tag team titles here. I'm going crazy. The learning tree becomes the new tag team champions.
You people better give him shit now.
I think it's going to happen because MJF is a scumbag at the end of the day. He's going to do the bad thing. I don't buy into him being a part of the Hurt Syndicate, so I think he could potentially cost them.
That's the team you're putting the titles on? Like, if
I
you're
don't
cost Bobby Lashley.
I don't agree with it.
Like,
all right, hold on. Let's talk about tag team wrestling. Hurt Syndicate, move on.
That's a good point, actually. We're going late right now, so.
Both companies are not doing well in tag team wrestling right now. Hurt Syndicate, next.
This is true. Another quarterfinal matchup we're going to talk about here. Mercedes Moné, who has 80 titles, taking on Julia Hart. Mr. Cincinnati, you get to start us off for this one.
Yeah, Mercedes Moné. I think I got the bracket up here. I want to double check to see where.
Yeah, who does? Yeah, I think Athena, right?
Correct.
And Billy's on the other side of the bracket.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. So
Billy.
Yeah,
Billy.
it just seems weird that we're getting that in the
Billy.
semifinals, but I think that's just going to be the match one sort of thing. But yeah, Mercedes Moné, just because on the other side of the bracket we got Harley Cameron and Athena. There's their semifinal match, which is cool. Lays the foundation for that feud. It's just the larger story here that's more interesting here. So Mercedes, it seems like it's taken them a while to find her programs that she can sink her teeth into. Obviously, the Harley Cameron one has been a lot of fun, and they continue to be thorns in each other's side. But Mercedes and Athena is the match that I need this year. Mercedes really needs that fucking match.
Yes. Mercedes needs just a feud to dive into for a long-term story, I think, because a lot of her matchups have just been one and done, one hit, and then we're moving on. And like Fernando says, I think your CEO's got this. I think she's definitely going to be defeating Julia Hart because there's bigger stories at play in this tournament. Podcast Dad.
Okay, couple things. The hell is Mercedes doing in this tournament?
I agree.
She's your TV
Great
champion.
point.
Why don't you have her defend the title on the pay-per-view? You know, we just saw another champion get stripped because, she can't defend the title all the time. Okay, whatever. Logic. I'll get out of it. And yes, I cannot wait to see Mercedes and Athena square off on Dynamite. Because the finals takes place at Double or Nothing. Where do the semifinals take place?
I'm not sure.
A show in between the next pay-per-view.
Great.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
This is the pay-per-view match. No disrespect to Julia Hart, but this is the one you're choosing.
This should be a straight-up title match.
They've done that before, though, haven't they?
You have Athena and you have Mercedes. Have them meet in the final with all the titles on the line, and the winner goes to take on the world champion. Like,
And Fernando's probably right. She's probably going to beat Timeless Tony at All In.
I'm not ready to live in that world yet.
No.
I think it is. Like, what else is your match?
You could make so much more money if you would have had Athena and Mercedes meet in the final, all the titles on the line, and then you go to All In, all the titles on the line. Like, what? Oh, it's so
Hey,
easy.
I agree as well.
Give us the pencil, guys. We'll take it. We'll take that ball and we'll run with it.
Mercedes.
Mercedes, yeah. We're all going Mercedes, right, Ian?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to spend too much time on that one. But I am excited for this one. I think it's been a solid build that they've been telling this story, I think, for a couple months now between Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole. It's nice to see Adam Cole back with the boys again. I think that's when he's at his best, when he's surrounded by Roddy Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. But there's a reason I'm wearing It's All About the Boom shirt, because I think Adam Cole is going to take that TNT championship off of Daniel Garcia. And listen, Daniel Garcia's got all the potential in the world. I think he is a great wrestler for AEW. I just think it's time to move on from this title reign and see what Adam Cole and the rest of the Undisputed Kingdom, or whatever they're calling themselves now, can do with some gold around their waist. And I think that's when we saw the best versions of those wrestlers. Look at the Undisputed Era. Whenever they held titles, good things followed. So put the title on Adam Cole. Good things are going to happen for that TNT title. That's my pick, Podcast Dad. What about you?
I'll go Adam Cole. Match has no time limit, no outside interference. That's one of the stipulations. Sure, go Adam Cole. Let's see if he can do something with the TNT championship, because nobody else can.
Mm-hmm. Has he not held a title in AEW either?
Tag title, yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
ROH.
Yeah, not even the AEW tag titles.
Not even the AEW.
How has it taken this long? I know he's been hurt. I know he's
he broke his foot for 3 years, so.
Yeah.
Was that long?
I mean, it was just back and forth.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's why. But
while.
Put a title on Adam Cole. Jeez. Ian, what do you think?
Yeah, not much more to add. It's tough putting Daniel Garcia with that title and then expecting him to thrive on Collision only. It's really tough. Because, again, I love AEW, but going on a Saturday night to go watch wrestling, it's hard to do for me, and I feel like I'm more than a casual fan of wrestling. But yeah, like you said, there's not much more to add other than Adam Cole with gold with the boys is pretty fun to watch, and you got to change it a little bit.
Yeah,
this title's been rough.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, this is this title. Let's call a spade a spade. This Daniel Garcia title run has sucked, and most likely the only reason that he has that title is to keep him from going to New York. That's it. Because realistically, had Daniel Garcia not re-signed, look at Ethan Page, look at Ricky Saints, look what Daniel Garcia could be doing in WWE right now. Tony Khan didn't want that, and he was a petty little fuck about it. And I apologize to anybody that thinks I'm piling on AEW. I'm not. We were actively critical. This was a shit move because it's the wrestling business. It's going to happen. But that's my belief of what happened here is I'm going to put this title on you to keep you from going elsewhere, and then you don't do anything with it. Like, how many times on our show, Chris, have I forgotten who the fucking TNT champion is?
So that's
like, same.
Hopefully Adam Cole can do something with this, because this title is nothing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what sucks about that title. It has to be on TNT, so it has to be on Collision.
Who says it has to be on TNT?
Well, it's the TNT title.
I mean, they're all under the Warner umbrella too. Like these are
I've
all
seen
of
Mercedes on TNT.
It's not,
This is true. Yeah.
There's no rule written down that says you have to.
I know.
There's no.
I know, but I'm just telling you their logic behind it. That's why.
Change the name of the title or get rid of it, because that's dumb anyway.
They need to start combining titles. That's really what they need to start doing, and I think that's what they are going to do with Kenny Omega and Okada, and that will be your all-in match. I think that writing.
Frustrated with this card. Now you guys are
Yo, we're supposed to get excited, so let's talk about this one. Bandito's winning. Bandito, right?
Yeah.
Do we even want to talk about it?
No.
Okay, Bandito. That's our pick, guys.
Now, yay.
That's why you subscribe to the Main Event Wrestling Network, to get in-depth analysis about ROH titles being defended on AEW pay-per-views. Trios titles. Death Riders versus Rated FTR. Come on, guys. You got to get excited. This is going to be good. I am excited for this one. I think it has potential to steal the show, honestly. And they're telling a good story with the dissension between Dax and Cash. I think that makes things interesting here. I don't know who's going to win. Podcast Dad, you could start us off.
Oh my god, I don't care about trio championships. I don't care. Just get rid of the titles and make this a regular match. It'd be fine. I don't need trio champions. I don't care. Don't care. Also, how did we miss this? Cope.
Cope's in this match.
Cope.
We love Cope over here at the Main Event Wrestling Network.
And it's probably gonna be a fine match. My god, I don't care who wins these titles.
So you don't even have a pick for me.
Give me the Death Riders.
Oh no, Ian, please save me.
It's going to be rated FTR. I think with the dissension that's coming, and I mean, we're going to make our predictions here soon, but the dissension that's happening within the Death Riders, I think it's smart to take those titles off them. Again, those titles really don't mean anything anymore. Back in the early AEW days, it felt
with the
fun.
Elite, it meant something.
Yeah, it was. They were awesome.
They lost them on the first night. They got them taken away.
Again, it didn't help that the Lucha Bros said we're going to WWE in the middle of all of it. That didn't help. So, yes, give it to rated FTR.
See what story they can tell with the dissension with the titles.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's like you said. These titles really don't mean shit anymore. They're just kind of staples. Threw them on Death Rider's shoulders just so everybody had gold. Yeah.
Who were the champions before Death Riders?
Yeah.
Mr.
I don't know.
Your turn.
They lost them at All In. That's all I remember.
They've had them for a while. Yeah, I don't know. Fernando says FTR is turning heel on Cope and set up a Cope and Christian versus FTR. Yeah,
It was the patriarchy.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Did you look it up?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'm having a tough time remember who that is. Is that Christian's group?
Oh,
yes.
come on.
Okay.
No, come on.
Well, Nick Wayne's got a crew now, so I don't know.
That is true. He is developing his own crew amongst the patriarchy. Yeah. What do you got in this one, Mr. Cincinnati?
Everything sucks here. Death Riders I'm fucking done with. Rated FTR, it seems like I at this point I would rather the Death Riders win so that I can get Cope away from FTR because these are three great wrestlers here. FTR hasn't really done anything of significance other than kind of being that backup to Cope for a while here. They really need something kind of going into the summer here. I need FTR back. I mean, 7-star FTR I need back, and that's not what I'm seeing here. Turn him heel, kick the shit out of Cope. Cope will find somebody else to help him out with them, and let's just move the fuck on.
Where's Jay White?
I don't know.
I'm asking every time there's a pay-per-view and he's not on it.
He's
Chris,
hurt.
I don't know.
He's hurt.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's hurt?
Who's
Yeah,
hurt?
he was supposed to be part of the Owen Hart, I think.
Oh, okay.
Jay White? Yeah.
Jay White got hurt.
Hurt? Oh.
Jay White.
I don't know exactly. I'll look it up.
Yeah, Jay White, yeah.
I don't know where Jack Barry is either. That's a great question. I actually am. I think I like this story. I like the FTR story that they're telling here, and I like when there's stories with titles involved. I like that dissension that they could have. So I think putting the titles on rated FTR while they're still telling this story of them potentially breaking up is good stuff. So I'm going to go with rated FTR to become the new Trios champions.
By the way, Jay White broke his hand, and he did address it on Collision. He was supposed to be a part of the Owen Hart Cup and was written off after the Death Riders beat him down. Gotcha. But he actually broke his hand.
7. There are 7 title matches on this card.
Night of Champions, AEW edition. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's be fair, though. Dynasty's not supposed to be like a big pay-per-view for AEW, so I don't think anybody's treating this like it's going to be the greatest show because Revolution
But it probably will be.
Yeah, it always is, right?
We
say it all the time. Yeah, it doesn't matter about the builds. They always put on good pay-per-views, so we're probably going to get a good pay-per-view here, and we're probably going to get a great international championship matchup, which I'm looking forward to seeing because for Speedball, this is a big moment. Speedball just got to AEW. They are treating him like a big deal. Everybody knows about Speedball if you pay attention to independent wrestling. And this is an awesome moment for him. A triple threat with Ricochet, Kenny Omega. Ian, this matchup is going to be fantastic. So I'm going to start things off with you on this one.
This is the perfect situation for Mike Bailey just coming into AEW. I'm just going to start it off. I think Omega retains. There's bigger plans on the horizon for that title. Obviously, we have that there. Ricochet has had some incredible feuds and some incredible storytelling since he's joined. I mean, there was a little 1 month where he's trying to figure out the character, but ever since then, it's been awesome. It's must-watch television for me. Now, with Mike Bailey coming into this big spot, obviously probably going to lose, you have Ricochet to fall on with a good feud. Let them establish and let them run a really good feud over the summer. I'm all in. Pun not intended, but I'm really excited for this one.
That was a good one, Ian. I like that.
Thanks. I meant to do that.
Yeah, you did. You're a good good podcaster. See, I can't even talk. Mr. Cincinnati, talk. You waffle.
Yeah, so first off, before we're giving praise to Mike Bailey, we're also going to shout out Veda Scott because she's just one of the best commentators on the Indies right now. Kenny Omega also wins this match, I think. This is, and I want to compare this again to Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight coming in with a lot of fanfare. Speedball Mike Bailey coming in with a lot of fanfare. This is just not their time to win these matches. They're going to look great in having these first pay-per-view debuts with two of New Japan's all-time greats. Like there's a lot of opportunity here that will come out of a loss here. With Ricochet, it's he had the Swerve program that helped establish him as a heel in AEW. That helped a lot. Now it's time to see what he can do with the rest of the roster, and I think this will be a good program to come out of that as well. We know these guys are going to have a lot of fun matches together, and I think that tonight's just a small sample size of what we could get potentially from them. But yeah, give me Kenny.
Yeah, you guys basically have said it all. I got Kenny Omega in this one, and I think Ricochet and Speedball could be a lot of fun into the summer, like Ian said. So I'll keep it simple. Podcast, Dan?
Yeah, same thing. This is probably going to be match of the night. I would put my money on that. This is probably going to be the best match we're going to see tonight. Give me Kenny Omega. The plans are bigger for him. Ricochet and Speedball going off. That'd be fine too. I think they've booked themselves into a good spot here. So,
yeah. These last three matches that we're going to be talking about here are really the matches I'm looking forward to, especially this one because another new superstar to AEW is Megan Bayne. And we obviously know the presence she had on independent wrestling, and she's being shotgunned right into the main event, which is awesome to see because Toni Storm, I'm just going to say it, I think she is the top women's superstar right now in professional wrestling. So this is awesome that she is getting this match here at Dynasty. So Mr. Cincinnati, you're going to start us off here. Who do you got winning this one?
Man, Toni Storm definitely gets the win here, but let's not diminish what Megan Bayne is or what she can do and what she brings to this women's roster right now. We saw her live at GCW in Indy. I had never seen her live before, and just absolute aura personified. I mean, there is just something there, and that presentation is a nice juxtaposition to what we see with Toni Storm. They're both elegant in their own respective ways. But when it gets down to it, we also know that they are gritty, bruiser, and can turn it into a fight when needed. And I think that's really, really exciting about this match. Toni Storm's the greatest AEW Women's Champion of all time, and it's not even close. This is a great opportunity for Megan Bayne. She's going to look phenomenal here, but today is not her day. Give me Toni Storm.
Yeah, and I like this comparison here from Fernando. He said Megan Bayne is Beth Phoenix 2.0. She definitely has that aura to her, as the kids would say. She's not winning here, but I could definitely see Penelope Ford maybe costing Megan Bayne accidentally in this one, and that could be the direction for Megan Bayne, for at least the next couple weeks. But I think Megan Bayne's going to be fine, even if she loses this one. Podcast, Dad.
I so badly want to pick Megan Bayne.
Ooh.
But I can't.
Yeah.
If this was a couple months down the road, like Tony just won the title back. Yeah. I don't think they're going to switch it that quickly. But man, you want to talk about a way to, kind of shock the system a little bit. Using a Adam Cole pun. But I'm gonna go Toni Storm now. But man, I'm going back and forth a lot more than I thought I was going to go, because I think they know they have something very big in Megan Bayne, and give me Toni Storm.
It's tough because it would be a statement. Yeah.
I am glad you didn't pull the trigger because I'm pulling the trigger. This is my second wild card pick. Right now, the way I see this match, with Toni Storm with that title right now, there are probably 3 women on that roster that's like, okay, yeah, they could be that spot in Tony Storm and probably hold their own. Megan Bayne, she's hinting at that spot right now. They have made her out to be a beast, and she is. She's really good in the ring. We know that. Mm-hmm. The talking, it's finding its way, but I think pairing her up with Penelope Ford, who could talk. She's got a good promo to her. Let's make Megan Bayne into the juggernaut that she can wrestle as, and make her that automatic contender. Even if this title match or the title run lasts like a month or so, you know that the capability of winning a title and being that presence of a title winner, let that be known now. I want to see the shocking win here. And if it's a squash match, I will love it even more.
Ooh, interesting. I mean, they definitely need to shock us, I think, on something. And
they will. Watch.
Yeah, they usually do. And listen, if Megan Bayne were to win, I don't think that's the worst case scenario because, like Ian said, Tony's already got all. She set the record for reigns in AEW, so she's already got that going for her. It can just get her another reign under her belt by winning it back, and then
no one's going to complain.
Really hard to recover from, though.
Might be.
I mean, you're coming off of this is probably the top 3 match in company history, regardless of gender, that she's coming off of. Megan Bayne has been great, but it seems like a stretch to be here 2 months to take it off of somebody like that. There's other women's champions that it would have been more believable that holding that belt that you could see taking it off just as quick. Even Tony Storm's first reign with the title, you bring in Megan Bayne, the squasher and presenter, is the next big thing. I'm buying that. But there's just something about this timeless character that it just seems like you might want to be a little more strategic in taking the title off of her because of what she's done with it.
I was going to say, I see what you're saying, but I see more of the benefits than the negatives. I don't think Tony Storm loses anything by any loss to anybody. I mean, she could get upset by literally anybody, and she's still going to be timeless Tony Storm, could still cut those promos on TV, still get the crowd behind her. I don't think anything changes that unless something wild happens, and this is something wild, but at the same time, Megan Bayne is... The crowd knows, like, they're giving her the respect that she's been due. I don't know. I see what you're saying, but I don't think a loss here affects Tony at all.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair counterpoint, but we're all going with Tony except for Ian. He's going with a new champion in Megan Bayne, so that'll take us to one more matchup to talk about. The main event. This one is tough. I could see both guys, walking away with the title. It's hard to count out Jon Moxley in any match. Ian, I'll start with you on this one, because there's some interesting avenues they can go to coming out of this matchup.
I have been throwing a lot of wild cards out there. I'm going to throw the opposite of a wild card and go with my heart and not necessarily my brain here. I think the world needs to see Swerve Strickland win that title. It's time. It has clicked with me with the Death Riders this past month. This build to this match has been fun. I have enjoyed it. It feels like like what they should have went with from the beginning. The heart and soul of AEW versus the Death Riders. The epitome and the kryptonite to AEW. Let's see that title finally come out of the briefcase or whatever the hell is in that briefcase tonight after Swerve wins. It needs to change. This is the moment. Again, there's people arguing like, oh, this could be another good win for Jon Moxley to really get more heat on him. There's already enough heat on him. I don't think it's getting any louder. And it's starting to turn into go-away heat. So let's get Swerve that win, take it all the way to All In, and then my winner of the Owen Hart, Hangman, versus Swerve at All In for that title.
I like it, Ian. Mr. Cincinnati, how do we feel? This is a big-time matchup here.
Yeah, much like Ian, I've loved the Death Riders versus Swerve story. Everything else related to the Death Riders just hasn't worked. I was really, really excited to see how they were going to rebrand Blackpool Combat Club now that Regal had moved on back to WWE. Love the fact that they added Marina Shafir to the group. We had batted around a number of women that we thought would make great members of BCC, back when they had that original entity. So I love that they included Marina Shafir. Something about this story just has not worked for me. Like it just has not been interesting, and it took a little too long for us to get to the motivation and the why of the Death Riders and what their goal is in AEW. The fact that we have not seen the Young Bucks try to come back and say, what the fuck is going on to this company that we left you get? Like, there's been a lot of holes in this story here. But let's go back to Revolution last month when we had this conversation of which world title should have main evented. It definitely should have been the women's world title based on what we saw and how they produced that ending and everything that went along with that. You could have put the world title in the middle of the show there. You had the same spot of Swerve diving off the ground. You could have had that same pull apart battle. You didn't need the main event in order to do that. Swerve is aura. Swerve is swag. Like, there's just everything about him as a world champion right now that makes the most sense. I know at least I think Chris has a different opinion than I do on this. I think it's absolutely bullshit that you're not showing your world title on TV. It doesn't make sense. It's like, okay, take it out of the briefcase. Still show us that you have it. Do something. Like, the briefcase is unique, don't get me wrong, but to just have your world title not on TV for 4 or 5, 6 months at a time is kind of fucked to me. I don't like this Death Rider story. I love everybody that's in the Death Riders. I don't like this program. I just want to go away. Give me Swerve. I'm done.
Yeah, no, that's fair, because I would agree with you. The Death Rider stuff wasn't working for me. At least this build makes sense. At least him versus, like Ian said, the face of AEW, Swerve Strickland, because I think he is that defining face. You can definitely say Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay are the top two, but I think Swerve is right up there with those guys in that conversation. I mean, just look at the reactions that Swerve Strickland gets every time he comes out there. The dude's a megastar. So I look at this match, I think, my brain says Jon Moxley just based off of past pay-per-views. I just feel like they're going to keep prolonging this Death Riders thing. But my heart wants Swerve Strickland to have this moment. I believe Swerve won the title at last year's Dynasty too. So this would be very cool to see him win titles at back-to-back AEW Dynasties. And I think that would be a great way to close out this show. And it would be interesting with the Death Riders, going off of my predictions, not having the trios titles and not having Jon Moxley as world champion. What does that mean for the Death Riders? I think that would be interesting coming out of this pay-per-view. So I'm going with Swerve Strickland become the new champion here, Podcast Dad. What about you?
I'm going to go with Jon Moxley because I don't think they end this story here. I think you wait till your biggest show to end this story. I think Will Ospreay is going to win the title from Jon Moxley and save AEW. I don't think you do it at Dynasty, at kind of a smaller show per se. I think you wait, and I don't think Swerve's as focused as he has been. I think we saw a little crack in the armor last week on Dynamite with the whole Willow thing, and then telling Hangman, like, hey, I deserved it. Like, is he losing that dog a little bit of what got you to the dance, right? Like, is that going to be missing in this match? Because Moxley's going to be ruthless. Does Swerve still have the ability to pull that out, or is he kind of leaning more towards the face where he can't pull the trigger like he used to? I think they can tell that story a little bit more. So give me Moxley for now. I don't think it ends tonight. I think we're waiting until All In to get that big crowning moment for like a Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I mean, you could be right. I think another thing we're forgetting about, too, is the Prince Nana of it all. I'm not sold that Nana is fully with Swerve still. I don't know about you guys.
What can they do with that, though? That's kind of the issue. Like, do you have Nana go partner with, Hangman? Like, I don't know. That doesn't sell for me. Yeah. Prince Nana and Swerve go hand in hand for me. Like, I think a lot of steam gets lost if those two split ways.
Well, let's pull up these comments here. Fernando says that Brian is making a shocking return and gets revenge on Moxley by costing him the champion. And then Maria says, what if Hangman is helping Swerve to win the championship? Because Mr. Cincinnati, we saw it on Dynasty. Swerve even admitted that he deserved getting his house burnt down, which was a nice little touch, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I like that idea of Maria's much better, just because there is that, hey, you owe me a favor. We know the history between these guys. Like, I like that slow burn here. Excuse me. Brian, I don't know. I think it's just my personal opinion. I think he's just done. I don't think that we get a Bryan Danielson return, at least certainly not in ring one at that. So I just can't see that. But Hangman basically costing Swerve and saying you owe me one, and kind of, we know that there's the deeper tension between these two. But if they're both showing respect to each other, that's also an interesting story up to the lead up to this. Would be their third match, I think, at this point.
Yeah,
Fourth.
Yeah,
fourth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they spilled buckets of blood all over the world with each other. Let's have a little different dynamic going into that if that were the case. So if I've got to choose between those two stories there, I like the Hangman one.
Yeah, I do too. I think it would make a lot of sense, but this is one of those matches on the card where I think is truly a 50-50 call, because you can make a case for either one of these guys. But like we said earlier, even if the build isn't that great, we know AEW pay-per-views are going to deliver. This one should deliver as well. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We went a little longer, but there was a lot going on. Smackdown had a lot of good things. We're only a couple weeks away from WrestleMania. Guys, there's so much content coming your way, not just at the network itself, but with our individual podcasts and whatnot. So, Mr. Cincinnati, what do you guys got coming up on the agenda for the Junkies podcast these next couple weeks?
So let me get the calendar up here. There are a few things that are kind of in the works that we've not necessarily announced just yet. April 16th at Mania Week, we do have our old friends Rob Weathers and Carbon Childers coming back for another wonderful Wednesday of just shooting the shit, where basically we're just going to give them a live mic for 45 fucking minutes and
hell yeah,
chime in every once in a while. But we've got some other surprises that we're not quite ready to announce just yet, but follow us on X and TikTok at Junkies Pod. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod. I need to get the Tony Storm episode of Wrestle Sips out. Maybe that'll be my celebratory once this match is over sort of moment here. The Storm Royale is a fucking delicious drink, so I can't wait for you guys to check that out. Podcast Dad, am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
All right. Yeah, that's what we got.
Yeah, can't wait. I'll be tuning in. At Junkies Pod is where you can find their show. And if you're interested in checking out what OTM is cooking up, we got some things going on these next couple weeks. Probably just a normal show this week, talking about the build to WrestleMania. And then we have Erica Marini, our former co-host, coming to join us for WrestleMania preview that week. And then, of course, guys, at the Main Event Wrestling Network, we have not one, not two, but three main event mixers coming your way WrestleMania weekend. On Friday, we will be live, I believe. Don't quote me, the graphics out there. But I think I said 5 p.m. Eastern for Stand and Deliver. Actually, no, it was 6 p.m. Eastern for Stand and Deliver on Friday. And then on Saturday, we are going to be live for Night 1 of WrestleMania. And then Sunday, we'll be recapping Night 1 and previewing Night 2. And at Main Event Net is where you're going to find all that good stuff. Don't forget to check out the merch we have available at the OnTheMarkWrestlingPodcast.com. And guys, if you enjoyed this stream, we are on the road to 100 subscribers. Podcast Dad, what's that magic number?
Tell one person. If you liked what we did here today, it was fun. I don't know when you're watching this, but if you liked what we did, just subscribe. We're having fun. We disagree, but we civilly disagree, Mr. Cincinnati.
No, I hate all of you.
Well, you made some pretty hot picks.
Why do you say fuck me for?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody shut up. Let me plug. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, because we want to continue to do it. So just come hang out with us. Come on. We got so much content coming out. It's crazy.
And spoiler alert, we are going to continue to do it because we love doing this, because you guys interact with us. That's what it's all about. So whenever we are live, jump in those comment sections, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and get ready for some main event moves happening these next couple weeks. So thank you guys for joining us once again for Main Event Mixer, episode 21, and we'll talk to you next time for WrestleMania weekend. See you then.